registration link because it's going to be crowded, so please, if you do want to attend that night, please use the registration link. We also invite you to our web meeting, which is Wildomar Engaging Business, and that is on Wednesday, October 23rd at 3 p.m. at City Hall. This is a focus group for Wildomar businesses, so please attend. And then we have a conversation with our Mayor Pro Tem, and I did introduce our Mayor Pro Tem, Ashley DiFilippo. So if you'd like to join us, we're having a coffee at Montague Brothers Coffee on Monday, October 28th at 9 a.m. Please bring your questions. Very informal. We'll just sit there and have a conversation. And then, I saw Caesar here and Candace. And they're having a How Money Works. And this is going to be on October 10th. So on Thursday. Part 1 is at 6 p.m. And October 24th, Part 2 is also at 6 p.m. And these are both at City Hall. So if you'd like to hear about how money works, it'll be a refresher course. Please join us at City Hall. So thank you. That is Caesar and Candace with Primerica.
Anyway, I have a highlight. So I don't know if many of you have heard about Spirit of the Entrepreneur Awards that happen in Riverside. It's actually Cal State San Bernardino that puts it on. Huge event. Black tie affair. Riverside Convention Center, packed with about 1,000 people. Bridget is a finalist for the Wildomar Parks and Community Foundation, and also Fastlane Tires is also a finalist. So we are very proud that Wildomar will be represented at this fine event. It will be November 21st. It is an evening event. It's black tie. So if you want to attend, please go online and get your tickets, and we hope to see you there. We will be there supporting Bridget and Fastlane Tires. So thank you.
And we're not the same category. Yeah, Fastlane is in the service entrepreneur side and on the social entrepreneur category. So we're not competing against each other, but we just love that we have 2 Wildomar finalists in there. And this was narrowed down from 300. So it was narrowed down to 37. We went for the interview process, which is kind of like speed dating. We have to meet with 11 judges, 3 minutes each in the same room, and then got narrowed down further to the finalists. So yeah, thank you, Kimberly. Okay, so we're going to today talk a little bit about how does the city work, because we hear, well, why can't you just pave my street? And why can't you just do this? Okay, so a little bit about how the city works, and what we can do and what we can't do. So we have our slide presentation.
Clicker right.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Right and click through.
That's this one right here.
Yes. Probably right there.
Thank you, Heather. Okay, next slide. So City of Wildomar, aspects of government and election information. Next slide. Okay, what the city does. So where are your property rights? Where do you live? Where do you have your business? The planning and the zoning, what can go there? A single-story home, like apartments, multifamily homes, and the zoning for that. Right now we're working on our general plan. We had adopted the county's general plan when we became a city 16 years ago. We're working on our own general plan right now for the city of Wildomar. We're almost done. It will be going to, we have a special meeting. We don't have the date for that. November 20. What's our special meeting date? November
20th council, November 6th planning commission.
Okay, so November 6th is going to planning commission. November 20th is going to city council. So you would please attend. We want to hear what you see. This is for the future. What's Wildomar going to look like in the future? And we want to hear your input. So please plan to attend those dates. If you're not following the city Facebook page, please do so. If you're not receiving emails from the city, please sign up for the emails, and you'll be receiving all the information. Plus, we do a monthly newsletter every month also. Okay, so code enforcement. We have our code enforcement team. They hear from me a lot. So we have been county for a long time. So some code enforcement issues, I feel, were looked over, and now we're getting all that under control. So if you have an issue with private property, please contact us, and we will get code enforcement to go look at it. Economic development, Kimberly. This is what we have, Kimberly, right here. Woohoo! What businesses, right? And I know we hear all the time, not another car wash, okay? So we developed a quality business incentive program, QBIP, to bring quality businesses to Wildomar. So we can't really dictate, exactly what we want, but we can tell you what we would like, encourage. We want things to do. I know we have some, I see Anna Ruiz here, we have some Temecula and Murrieta folks here in the room too, and some of our residents, right, are going down there, especially like Old Town Temecula. Well, we want them to stay here, so we want to bring in more entertainment and things to connect our community right here in Wildomar. So that's something that Kimberly works on for us. Public safety, okay, of course, we support our police, we support fire and animal control, but this is all our public safety categories that we have for Wildomar going out there. Next slide. So what we do, infrastructure, right? Oh, hey, the signal light is flashing red, and I'm contacted pretty much every day for some issue that's happening in the city, and then I contact the appropriate department. Hey, please go out and check on this. So we know Wildomar, we have some flooding issues when it rains, right? I think everyone does, but so they're going out there working on that, clearing those stormwater drains, making sure we're ready for winter. So anything that is the infrastructure of the city, we do that part. And then of course parks construction, my favorite, and maintenance, right? We have our Fall Family Fun Fair coming up on October 19th. Be really well attended. Hope you can come. So anything like that. And we're opening a brand new park on Monday, October 14th at 4 p.m. on McVicker, so please join us. We want to do it later in the afternoon so all the kids could join us. It's on McVicker between Grand and Palomar, and it's the Park at Boulder Creek. That's the name right now. And the cemetery. So we have a beautiful cemetery. I'm not sure if you've been over there to visit your loved one, but also all the cemetery services are also under what the city does. And our community services events, which I want to see more of, a lot more of. But we are doing that. So with Daniel and Annelle and Cherie, we're having now these pop-up events. And so now this new park we're opening will now be another site for a pop-up event. So that's what we do. This is what the city does. Okay, next slide. What the city doesn't do. So we partner, and we went over this if you attended. Anyone here attend the State of the City last Thursday? All right. A lot of people in the room. So if you saw in the city and the State of the City, we highlighted, because even though the city doesn't do this part, we have these agencies that we have to all work together, right? These partnerships, because it takes all of these people to make the city go. It's just that they're in charge of, this is their realm, their wheelhouse, and this is what they do. So the water and sewer, we have Elsinore Valley Municipal Water District. They come in, they put in the water lines, the sewer lines. They're doing a big project. I heard it's a go for Sedco Hills where they're converting all of them onto sewer, so that's going to be great for them. Schools. So we do sometimes I receive emails, Ashley, right, receive emails saying, hey, the school district's doing this or they're not doing this. We don't have any jurisdiction over those schools. So you have to contact, they have their own board. Heidi Dodd is the presiding president this year. So you have to contact the school board for any school-related issues. But, however, we do have a 2x2. Are you on that? Okay. So we have a 2x2. It's 2 council members and 2 school board members, and they meet quarterly, once a quarter, and to talk about, because there are issues, right? Traffic. So traffic around the schools. Well, why do we have traffic around the schools? Well, because the schools, the parents, but it's also our other drivers. So those are mutual issues that we have to decide together what's the best way to work. So we do have these 2x2s with the school district. We also have a 2x2 with the water district. Same thing, issues that we have to work on together. Elections. So the county of Riverside holds the elections. They mailed out the ballots yesterday. If you have signed up for ballot tracks, you would have received a text message saying, hey, your ballot was sent. And if you haven't signed up, please sign up for ballot tracks. And so they run the elections for us. So this year, for citywide, this year it's only going to be District 4. So we have an election every 2 years. This year would have been District 2 and District 4. District 2, the only person that pulled papers and qualified was our current council member, Dustin Nick. So we have canceled that election. He's now appointed, and now that's his, so for another 4 years. So then my district, District 4, is the only one. So if you're not in District 4, you're not even going to see a city race on your ballot. Just if you're in District 4, you'll see it. Freeway control, property tax. Oh, property tax. So when you pay your property tax, you pay it to Riverside County. Riverside County then doles back our little portion. We don't get all of that. I know sometimes people think that, oh, but you get all that property tax. No, we don't. We get a little portion of it, and their county sends it back to us. So you pay it to county, they send us back our portion. Freeway traffic control, CHP. So not sure if you've ever been pulled over on CHP, but we have nothing to do with that. That's California Highway Patrol. Freeway maintenance, okay, Caltrans, we kind of just contacted them yesterday. So the Wildomar Beautification Volunteers have adopted 8 miles of the freeway, so we participate in the Adopt a Highway program with Caltrans. We have 3 encroachment permits to go onto the freeway and clean the freeway. But anything like that, the maintenance, and it's not, people think, oh, just the freeways, Caltrans. It's actually the on and off ramps also. It's also the bridges. So like Clinton Keith. So if someone contacts me and says, hey, the signal's out on the bridge at Clinton Keith, that's not then Public Works, that's then Caltrans. We have to contact that agency and let them know about the signal or whatever needs to be done. And even right here, so I know, I was called Rosia, she's like, I'm stuck on Wildomar Trail. Yes, we know, we're trying, and we are working with Caltrans, this is where the agencies work together, to have a southbound only on-ramp at Wildomar Trail. So cross your fingers, Caltrans needs to approve it, and then it can happen, and that'll alleviate traffic. We know it is backing up right now on Wildomar Trail, so we're working on that. And then ambulance. So we have AMR, the county contracts with AMR right now for our services, and so if you have an issue with an ambulance, then you need to contact AMR. So background. So 73 individual funds. So in our lives, we probably have one checking, one savings, maybe a couple other vacation accounts or something else. No, the city has 73 because we have to keep everything separate. So you have your general fund, measure AA, which is our 1 cent sales tax. It has to be kept separate. If you ever hear someone say, oh, no, well, let's move that money from that account to that account. No, that's not how it works. Not in the cities. So you have to keep it all separate. And like our parks, so we do pay a $28 parks tax on our bill, so $14 every 6 months, which is not a lot, to run all the parks. That can only be spent on parks. We actually have a committee of 5 members who meet quarterly to look at that and review that and make sure that the parks money was spent on parks. So same thing. Okay, next slide. Okay, the budget process. We want to know, we want to hear. We have budget workshops at City Hall. We want to hear from you. What do you want to see? So we have this money, right? A lot of it, you saw 73, so it has to be directly to roads or cemetery or parks. But with our general budget, general fund, what do you want to see? We want your input. So we have this process. We invite you to come, and then we determine what is going to be that budget and goals. So we know, like last year when Joseph was mayor, right, it was roads, and probably you think it should be roads every year. But, and we do have roads in the budget for this year too. But we have to decide, it's right, everything, and every department then comes to us, well, Bridget, we need this, and then this department, well, you know, Ashley, we need this. So it's just like your own home budgets, right? What do you want? What do you have to spend it on? What can you spend it on? And balancing it all out, so balancing act. And just making sure we always have a balanced budget. Always, we always have, we always will, I say hopefully, always. So yeah, next slide. So our 5-year capital improvement project. We went over this last month in detail, was it? Yeah, it was last month. So if you can watch these, this is being filmed right now at the Wildomar Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. So you could go back and watch it. We went in detail about our 5-year capital improvement project. I'll say a couple of them, which is our Bundy Canyon widening. You know, we finished the first phase. We're now working on that second phase. And we're also working on as soon as the second phase is done, hopefully we're going right into that third phase, which will take us all the way to Sunset, our line, and then Menifee will take over from there. Another capital improvement project is on Clinton Keith. You know, right now when you exit the freeway and you want to go east, it's 4, it goes to 2, back out to 4, so it's going to be widened the whole way to Coppercraft. And then the other project is Palomar, so from Wildomar Trail to Gruwell, it's going to be widened sidewalks, decorative crosswalks, so that's happening too. As I mentioned at the State of the City, I said 2025 a lot. So Ashley will be our mayor next year, and so she's going to have probably a lot of construction complaints. But it's good, right? It's growing. We need these projects. We must have these projects. Yes, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get around town, but when it's done, it's going to be amazing. Okay, and then election info. So like I said, ballots were mailed. You can drop off your ballot at Wildomar City Hall, Wildomar Library, or any drop-off ballot site in Riverside County. You can also mail it, so you can drop it off now, right? Correct? Because you should receive them maybe today. If you're ready to go, you already know who you're voting for, you can start dropping it off right away. now until November 5th. And we're actually going to have 3 sites of in-person voting the last 4 days. And that will be, I don't know if that's the next slide. So make sure ballots are on the way, registration deadline the 21st, election day, next one. Okay, drop off the ballots, next one. And the vote centers, okay, that's what I was getting at. So Wildomar City Hall, Wildomar Library, and Wildomar VFW, 4 days you can vote. Remember before it was just the actual day, Tuesday? Nope. From Saturday, November 2nd to Tuesday, November 5th, you can vote in person at those 3 locations. So it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., except election day is 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then you can also mail your ballot, right? You can mail it by USPS. So I think the next slide says it has to be received by, it must be postmarked by November 5th, election day, and it must be received by November 12th. So there were, in the last election, some ballots that didn't make it on time. We don't know why they didn't make it on time. So just make sure if you're going to mail it, even if it's November 5th and you want to just drop it off at City Hall or one of the sites, just to ensure it gets there on time, you can do that also. And like I said earlier, the ballot tracks. Please sign up for that. It tracks your ballot. It'll let you know when it was mailed, when they received it, that it was counted, processed. So that's a great tool to have. Okay, and then if you have any other information, please contact Jeanette Morales, our city clerk. I think that's it. And I failed to introduce Matt Bassey, and he has been working so hard on our general plan. Thank you, Matt. Okay. Oh, any questions? Someone? Yes.
You mentioned about the ballot drop-offs. Do you have to drop it off in the city that you live in? Or
Nope, you can drop it off at any ballot. So even though you don't live here, Caesar, you can go right across the street and drop it off at City Hall.
In Riverside County.
Yeah.
Any ballot drop-off location in Riverside County.
Any ballot drop-off location in Riverside County. So don't drive to Orange County and drop it off. Yes.
And don't forget our...
She's coming with that microphone.
It's not a question, it's actually a reminder that next Saturday, our Wildomar Beautification Volunteers is having our pancake breakfast, so come join us.
Thank you, Rocio. So yes, this Saturday's October 12th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Wildomar VFW. We're having a pancake fundraiser. It does benefit the Wildomar Beautification Volunteers so we can buy supplies, right? Paint, because we do use the paint for graffiti and everything else. Right now we're in need of, what was it, Dan, the pickaxes? The pitchforks. We need pitchforks. You can tell I use a lot of pitchforks. But we need them. We were short on National Cleanup Day. We could have used probably at least 10 more. Yes, Richard.
Derek has totals for the national.
Oh, Derek. Derek has totals.
Find them.
Here, Derek.
Well, while he's looking, any other question? Oh, here it is.
She had 2 roll-offs. One was 3.75 tons. The other was 2.05 tons.
Wow.
And
Wow.
half the volunteers last year.
Yeah. That was amazing. And I would say one of the roll-offs was only weeds. I mean, we did so many weeds. It was like everyone was complaining about weeds that day because they're prickly and even if you're wearing gloves, they still just get through there. But I think one of the roll-offs was only weeds. So thank you very much. It was all our partners. Montague Brothers Coffee donated coffee, right? So it's everyone coming together. WRCOG was here with their Love Your Neighborhood booth and supplies. We appreciate them partnering with us. Yes?
I just want to say that the Wildomar Historic Society is going to meet at the library October 26th. I think it'll be at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Anybody wants to.
I attended the Wildomar Historical Society last month. Yeah, and then you're going to be at the ribbon cutting of the new park?
Yes.
So why are you going to be there?
I'm sorry?
Why are you going to be there?
Because we have a plaque.
Yeah.
From the Wildomar Historic Society,
Yes.
recognizing the Brown Tower.
Yes.
Yeah. And if anybody wants more information about the Brown Tower and why it's there, you can contact us. Yeah.
So if you remember the David A. Brown house that was on the corner of McVicker and Grand years ago, anyone remember that? A few of you? So it actually was moved to the current site where Kaiser is now. Unfortunately, then it was dismantled, but Beezer put in the homes on Boulder Creek at Grand and McVicker did a replica of the water tower. So we love that. And so that's why it's there. So Historical Society is a sponsor for that event too. Any other questions? Did we miss anything? Oh, someone actually asked me last night, I was going to ask Daniel, a trash can at the new park. They couldn't find a trash can at Boulder Creek. And then so another update we hear a lot, and we said this at the State of the City too, was Bundy Canyon. We talked about Bundy Canyon, the winding all the way to Menifee, but the other way, so Bundy Canyon to Mission Trail. Yes, it needs repair. And yes, Public Works will do some repair on it. We're not going to do full reconstruction right now though, because that also portion is going to be widened. So Bundy Canyon, all of Bundy Canyon is going to be widened, but this is a separate project from the west side to the east side. So yes, we're going to do some repairs on it, but not a full reconstruction because it's going to be widened, and at that point it'll be a full reconstruction. Oh yes, Caesar. She's coming.
I'm slower, sorry.
I waited till you were all the way on that side. I've always been curious about the parks. I know you said there's a separate account for the parks, but like where does the money come from? What kind of budgets are they looking at? What kind of expenses are involved when they're opening a new park or maintaining a park? Because I remember years ago, I think like, why don't they just open a park right here? Why don't they it's just that easy, the empty lot, just open a park. Yeah. And so now I'm learning more about city stuff. I'm curious about how that works.
So,
I'm just going to start.
Yes, and I say that too, because I want parks everywhere. But it's very expensive, of course, just like anything. So we do pay, the residents pay a $28 a year parks tax. A year. So it's only $14 every 6 months. So this was passed, what year, Dan? I don't forget now, 2014 maybe? And so if you imagine how much inflation has gone up, that $28 is not covering as much as it used to, right? And so we have to pay water. So the biggest expense is water, right? You see that beautiful grass, green grass. We want to keep it that way. Our sports fields, Tri-City Gators play there at Martin O'Brien Park. Water, right? Next thing, like security. We got to keep the park secure. So we have security costs. I know Daniel can say more. But so anything, think about janitorial, keeping the bathrooms clean, keeping the park equipment clean, any maintenance if it gets graffiti, which unfortunately we do not have a lot of graffiti at the parks, but if it does. So just think about anything that you look at, the water lines, just anything that needs maintenance in the park, redoing the parking lot, resurfacing the parking lot, staff costs to do all that. So anything going into the parks has to all be paid for by that little $28. And then talk about trying to build. So Beezer built this park that we're opening on October 14th at 4 p.m. They built this one, but now we're going to have to maintain it. But actually, we don't maintain it they're going to continue to maintain it for a couple of years, and then we'll take over from there. So right now, so that's the kind of the best way for cities, right, is to have someone else build it. Yeah. But we're going to build the 27-acre park. Did you want to talk, Dan?
You're doing a great job. Yeah, most of our funds right now come from developer impact fees for land. We have a component for land, so 40% of the city is still left to be built. And so as those developments come online, they'll pay a portion of the land cost and they'll pay a portion of the improvement cost. Still short. So if you can imagine if a park costs $1 million, impact fees would only generate $400,000. So we still have to come up with $600,000, and that's usually through grants or an additional condition on the development.
And then also improvement. So I just want to give a highlight. So the Wildomar Community and Parks Foundation, that's my own nonprofit, separate from the city. We just wrote a check to a company that's going to put in foam mat at Martin O'Brien Park, so underneath the top lot. So right now we have the bark, which is better than concrete, but it's still not good on your little baby's feet. And so, it's not soft, but now we're going to put in that foam mat. So my nonprofit, we received a grant, and we're paying for the foam mat materials. Daniel and his team, as a capital improvement project, will have to do taking out the bark and that kind of stuff, doing that part of it. But that's how then we can augment. That's back to our whole state of the city was power community partnerships. That's how we can all work together to improve our community. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you for attending today.
Thank you. Bridget. Any last things, Kim? Any last announcements? No? All right. Thank you again for coming this morning. We really appreciate it. Just a quick little note. This evening, the Southwest Riverside County BizPAC will be hosting the candidates forum for the Wildomar City Council race. So if you want the information, we sent it out yesterday. It'll be hosted live on YouTube, so you can go on there and view it tonight. So hopefully you'll go on there and pay attention and see who's involved in running for our current seats here locally, and then you can make your decisions based on educating yourself. And we do it based on looking at it from a business perspective, obviously. But with that, we want to thank you again. Thank you to the corporate room, to Duncan. What's that? Sorry, it's too late. You used up all your questions. No, it's all right. Hold on. I'm walking.
Sorry, I just didn't mean to ask. I saw that they started moving dirt right here on
Clinky.
Going towards Barron's shopping
Yeah.
center. So what is that?
So right now they're only exporting the dirt, so they're not building anything yet. There's no final plan submitted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right now they're just exporting dirt to another project. Yeah, so that's why they have the water trucks out there too, to make sure, keep the dust down. Yeah.
Any last questions?
Caesar, you good?
All right. Thank you again for coming this morning. We really appreciate it. Thank you to the city. We appreciate our partnership with the city. Everyone, have a wonderful day.